brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Mark is with us in Springfield, Missouri. Hey, Mark, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello, Mr. Ramsey and Dr. Deloney. I was just calling to ask you guys. I own it's my job, but I own a business, but I only employ me. And I'm trying to figure out.
That's awfully nice of you, Mark.
I'm in the middle of my the baby steps, like a quarter of the way into it. I've got $40,000 of $120,000 paid off, and I was wondering, with the business income, should that be put into the business first? Like, once I get my tax account full, then should I build up an emergency fund for the business, or should I focus that on the baby steps?
What do you do?
I'm a pooper scooper.
Okay. And what are you making?
With combined household income with my
no,
wife
on
and
the business. Oh,
just the business. It's about $100,000.
Okay. And God,
we just stop right there for a second.
First thing ran through my mind is that's a lot of poop. Okay.
Which is one of the internal slogans about this show. But listen. If you are listening to this show and you say, I can't get ahead and I can't figure it out, there's no jobs.
Mark is making $100K as a pooper scooper, so let's just keep that out there.
Picking up the dog
pretty stinking good. Okay. All right, Mark. All the puns aside, you've done them all too, so you've been doing this a while.
Oh, yes.
All right, so that's amazing. I'm so proud of you. I have no idea, but
Dave, we're gonna have to talk about my finances.
It's just you, and you have like a route. I assume you go to certain locations, and people pay you to come to their location. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. And how often do they pay you?
Some people pay me weekly, some people pay me monthly, so it's just
okay. All right, that's fine. And do you have a separate business account?
Yes.
And all the money that they pay you goes into that account, never goes direct to your personal account, correct?
Correct.
Great first move. When you pull money out of the business account to bring some home, you should always set aside 1/4 for taxes. You alluded to that. Sounds like you've heard me tell you to do this before.
Oh, I've listened to your show for quite a while.
Okay, so you're setting aside 1/4 when you take it home. If you take $1,000 out of the account, you set $250 for taxes, put $750 in your personal account, correct?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's a good plan. And you said household income, so your wife is working. What does she make?
So she makes, I think, 50, and then I've got military retirement, and we're foster parents, so we get a stipend for that.
And that's how much?
Total,
how much?
Total, we get about $170 a year.
So another 20 in military retirement and foster stipend.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, good. And what are the expenses of running this type of business? Fuel, I assume, to go to the locations.
Yeah, there's fuel, advertising, when trash bags.
Yeah.
And
Febreze.
Every once in a while, I have to replace a rake or bucket.
Yeah, but it's not much. Yeah. So
no, it's
so
not.
Out of the 100, I mean, your expenses are $10,000, maybe, right?
Yeah, probably somewhere around there.
Maybe 15. Yeah. Okay. So the vast majority of this comes home.
Yes.
Why would you need a business emergency fund at this stage?
For replacing parts on the vehicle, or stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you have a separate work vehicle from your home vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. So there's like a truck involved or something.
Yeah, minivan, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. This is so great.
Mark, I got to tell you, you've made my entire week.
This is so good.
Just thinking about you cruising Springfield in a minivan, just getting out with a shovel and some headphones on, making $100,000 a year. It restores my faith in humanity.
It's just America. All right, so you couldn't do that if it was Russia, I'll just say. All right, so the
there's no Great Danes in Russia.
Yeah, that's it. So, all right, I don't think you need much of an emergency fund right now. I think I would take most of this home, of the $85,000 home, or let's just call it All right, let's put something in the retire. So what we would do in entree leadership is we would say take your net profit, which is 85 cents on the dollar. Okay, so if we make $10,000 this month, we're going to take 8,500 and call that net profit. All right, and we would apply a formula to that and say X percentage goes home, and the rest goes into an emergency fund. Okay, a retained earnings fund. In your case, I think 10% would be more than adequate, and then take the rest home into the retained earnings. Yeah. So my little formula: you make $10,000 this month. It's a big month. It's a good month. You have $8,500. We're going to call that profit. Or let's call it $8,000 profit. We're going to leave the rest of it in there for expenses. That's one thing. And then we're going to set aside 10% of that $8,000. So $800 goes in another account for retained earnings, and we're going to take $7,200 home. I just made a formula up, but you can do something like that to where you take the most of this home and you leave a little bit in the business and you cover expenses and the actual expenses in the business that month.
Okay. And does it change any if I were to hire somebody? Like, I would have to set up a fund for that as like in case I don't have the money to cover a paycheck or something, correct?
At that scale, they should be getting paid off the job, not off the paycheck, right?
Yeah. You're not going to hire them to make enough that it's going to impact you that much. Anyway, you shouldn't on the business size. So, yeah. And you would increase your income associated with them. So no, I mean, maybe a little bit, but it wouldn't change substantially. Until you get this last $80,000 at home paid off, I want to take most of this money home, other than tax money and business expenses.
Okay, gotcha. All right, I appreciate
not
your help,
all of it, but not all of it, but most of it. And man, and he a guy like that is like he's heard all the jokes over and over, all the bad 13-year-old stuff.
He laughs all the way to the bank.
Yeah, and it's just, but I can't imagine what the decal on his the wrap on his van says, right?
Or when all of his military buddies get together and they just go around the bar.
I mean, there's some great, these guys that do Pooper Scooper, they got great names out there that are hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's some fabulous names.
But I remember a teacher during COVID who paid off like $100,000 because she was teaching and she was driving and delivering. And I remember thinking, oh, she's one of those curve busters that takes everybody's excuses away. Mark goes into that camp. $100,000 collecting dog cha-cha down his neighborhood. Attaboy, man.
Wow.
There's no more excuses left.